Today we're taking a look at Fifakills, which is one of the top players in the entire world and pretty much known as the #1, #2 player in all of Europe. Up there with JGOD as some of the top players. Maybe there's a couple other that fit in the mix, but they have been very dominant and they pretty much win everything in terms of Warzone. And they've adapted to Caldera perfectly, where they're still racking up insane amounts of kills. Check them out over on Twitch if you haven't already followed them. Link in the description. And as you can see right now, a lot of the time what they're going to do is in the beginning, they're going to land on an airplane. They're going to go right in and try and get as many kills as possible, because that's kind of the quote-unquote meta for high kill games. They go in, they fly, they get about 10 to 20 kills, and then they go ahead and get regular kills, because by that time the plane has already been destroyed. It's not as easy to get the downs and thirsts. So this is duo quads, and that's kind of what we're looking at here. Now he's here. You can see that there's a total of 68 players up with a total of 25 other teams total. Already has 16 kills, rotating through the mines area here. Already has the loadout. It's just really a matter of doing contracts and doing the same pacing that we've always seen with these high kill games, and that is bounty, UAV, kill, bounty, UAV, kill. But there's also the top target where you can go after somebody who has more kills, and then it also allows you to get an advanced UAV. And the contracts do reward stuff. So you can see they're marking here. He is playing with Redman that is kind of split off. So this is all going to be essentially solo quads. And within these high kill games, you can't really expect to break world records with off-meta weapons. So you're clearly going to see a meta the majority of the time when these players are going for world records and trying to get the most kills, min-maxing the lobby as high as possible. So he's working on both of these, getting a call out from Bread. And essentially what's happening here is on the right side, we know somebody's at the buy station. You can see somebody in the distance. They just bought somebody back. You can see the little smoke there. And then he's going to go ahead and kind of continue working these. He got the kill there. And then now we know that this team on the right is completely separate than the one was on the left, because he got a full team wipe. If his teammate was on the right, then you know, hey, they still last up. He did buy somebody back there. And there was one on the ground that was still popping up on the UAV. There's a fire sale, which is going to be ideal for getting a self-revive and then getting some more UAV intel. Obviously, he's being hunted, so that team over there that is probably looking for him, and they're giving away the position. So they rotated from the buy station, rotating into this building, and you can see how he's kind of positioned on the high ground, gatekeeping, because ideally you want to be able to shoot people that are not able to shoot back. And the easiest way to do that is to shoot people while they are in transition. And how you set these up is you're in a position inside the zone and people are on the outside. If you catch people as they're running, there's a sprint to fire time, which is slow, super sprint, which is the tactical sprint to fire time, where if you catch somebody in this motion, if you start shooting them, more often than not, you should be able to kill them by the time they recognize what's going on, they can react, and then get in position. It's already too late. You can see what they've done there. He's kind of full sending here to get this kill. The guy didn't self-revive. Like I said, full sending, a little bit of a rough push there. But normally when you're trying to go for high kill games, you're going to take bad pushes. And essentially that one, he didn't know where the second guy was. This is the guy who got bought back. Clearly has some decent gun skill up there. Beams the hell out of him with this no recoil Bren that's going around. That is highly likely it's going to get nerfed. So if you're planning on leveling it up, you might be a little bit behind the curve. But overall, you can see they just did the contract. So now they have the advanced UAV. They know that there's two people there, but you can see the person on the ground over here is going to be an issue. You can see that this guy has Ghost. He's winding his way up. Easy kill here. Boom. That's probably going to be the most annoying player. Obviously, can't have a heartbeat in this mode, but UAVs are going to show whatever players. There was a fire sale, so likely if that guy has Ghost, that means he had his loadout. You'll be able to get him. These guys come to peek. A little bit of a weird angle. He gets a reload in. You can see that down the hill, there's 3 guys. This one went to go res the other one, which tells you there's not a self-revive in play, or maybe he's going to go tap him. He peeks him, has the ultimate high ground. He's going to be able to catch these guys. So he kind of got pinched in a bad spot, but he made the best do with it, using the angles, thirsting. Because a lot of times when these self-revives get into play, then you get really bad timing where you're dealing with someone and then they're beaming you and then you got to plate up, they're closing the distance, then you run into ammo situations. So you got to be very efficient with your ammo. You see he still has multiple mags that he's going to be able to reload with these 40-round mag. He did down the one up top, challenges, takes him out. The last guy has self-revive. That was the bounty that they had on him. He's using the stim to push through. That was the big game, so now that's going to give you another ultimate or advanced UAV, which shows ghosted and non-ghosted players on the minimap. You can still see there's a lot of players still not ghosted, so this is a really good thing. You can see he pre-fired it. He thought the guy was on the outside. Turns out the guy was on the inside. He comes through, live pings him with the perk 3, Combat Scout. You can see where majority of players are. He's probably going to rotate towards the right. And you can see where he marked a cluster players. When you're trying to go for high kills, you're not necessarily worried about positioning, rotation, nearly as much as going to as many players as possible. And ideally, you'll have a smooth rotation if you focus on that group, because that's where majority of players are converging at. The hope is that hopefully they don't kill each other, because then you end up with way less kills.
Oh my God, if I kill this kid, I get advanced.
So he's coming through. He's worried about getting this guy. It pulled to this guy, the most wanted or whatever, the big game bounty. You can see that there's potentially 2 people there. You can see they're fighting. Oh no, that's Krampus. Krampus is bothering this guy, so it should be a relatively easy kill. You should be able to come in, be annoying. Krampus is being annoying. You can hear Krampus. It's going to give away this guy's position. You're going to just be able to shoot him. He's like, where's this guy at? You can see something's on the door. Glowing.
Nice,
this guy has a double C4'd on the doors. But it doesn't matter. He gets another advance. This is going to help for rotating. So they made it actually significantly easier to get kills in Caldera because of the modifications that they've made to most wanteds, recons, the big game bounties where it's going to mark players. So you kind of get this intel regardless if people have Ghost. So Ghost isn't all that valuable in this mode unless you're playing passive and you're trying to avoid people. But even then, if somebody goes out of their way to be aggressive, they're going to find you. And you can see how they're kind of rotating in. He ends up getting it down. Nobody is nearby. If that guy doesn't have a self, which we already had a fire cell, so there's likely going to have selves. But you can see there's like 5 people rotating from the top side, coming down. The UAV's gone. They do have another big game that Bread is working on. Hopefully, Bread can clutch that up, take that guy out, and then that'll give them both an advance. So he'll be able to have safe rotations here. And you can see this is always the pacing where people change gears. When you have as much intel as you have, or you can have, then you can play really aggressive because you can trust that intel and then work based off that information. If they don't have intel, which is like he had up until he bought that UAV, you end up with a scenario where it gets a little bit tricky, like, oh man, what am I going to do? How am I going to push this? You have to be a little more passive. The guy finally bled out. He spots this guy at a distance. This gun is really easy to use. That guy has resistance to marking, so he's cold-blooded. Which usually people that are running cold-blooded usually aren't as good as people that run EOD. So that's usually a good sign that it's probably an easier player for the vast majority, even though cold-blooded is significantly better than it used to be. It used to be like, if you ran cold-blooded, guaranteed you're a bot. That guy just got killed. He completely disappeared off the map unless this converted to a regular UAV, and then that guy disappeared. So you got to kind of just pay attention to that. Ego chows it. He's getting pinged. He has to finish that guy off. There are other guys rotating, which is a third party. And that's where the situational awareness is, where you're looking at the minimap, deciding, okay, how am I going to push the situation? How am I going to hold this angle? And you really make decisions based off of that. You can see he comes through. He's able to peek that guy. There's actually multiple people there. That guy got obliterated. And you can see the guy rotating over at the buy station. The guy probably has a gas mask. They're going to be pushing heavy. So this is where you catch him in rotation, and they really cannot shoot you. They're going to get caught gas mask animation. So regardless how good this player is, it does not matter because there's 2 of them. He's going to catch both in rotation. He caught that one, and then the other guy's rotating in, which he will get. It looks like somebody dropped the cluster. He's going to get held. Look at how many people are inside the zone holding buildings. So this first building, you can see that there's 3 people. There's 1 to the left. There's a guy to the right that can potentially ruin something, and a guy in front. So either way, you're going to get gate kept. And this is where it comes into play where you're not making good rotations because you're just trying to go for kills. If they were playing for a win, they would have rotated way earlier. So the strategy is going to be completely different. If you 100% play for wins, you will always get less kills than somebody who traditionally just plays for kills, right? Like, that's just kind of how it works. Obviously, you can get lucky, get some easy rotations, end up in the zone early. A lot of people walk by you. You get some easy kills, but on average, if you're playing for kills, you're going to get less wins, but you're going to get way more kills. It really depends on your strategy. Some people have a happy balance. He knows this guy's at. He's like, where the hell is he? He's right outside the door.
Yo, can you kill that king?
Whoa, I'm in trouble. 1 sec.
There's 2 there. Completely reset the gunfight. The situation's different than he expected. He's going to take a different angle. They know there's a guy out here. They end up throwing the stun. He reworked the angle. There's another guy here. He's going to be able to find out where this guy is. That guy was laying down. He pings him with that. There's another guy coming through. So he's kind of going to bait for him. You can see that there he is. Ends up winning the gunfight. It's a little bit of a tough one. You can see that the fire rounds come through. There's another guy with the advance that they got right here. He should be coming up right below him. He's looking for him, and then he's going to go for the res. He pre-fired it expecting the guy was going to challenge, so he knows kind of where the guy's at, right below here based off the minimap. And you can see this guy's going for the res like, oh, come back res me, come back res me. He's baiting it. He comes through. He catches you in the animation. Super easy kill. And he was really waiting and being patient. And the right thing for that guy to do was just to wait and hold an angle and bait the res, knowing that the guy's going to challenge you. And then you just pre-aim that door. You get the easy like damage as he comes through, and then you're good to go. This side of the map is entirely clear. They had that another advance. They're rotating in. He's able to catch this guy in rotation at the last end. Should be enough to down him. And then now the intel's gone, but you can see there's a bunch of people on the loadout with that cluster going off. He's peeking around. He's at 34 kills. As we remember, he was like right at 16 with halfway through the lobby. So this pacing is kept pretty good, even though he got like 14-ish kills with the airplane. And you can see there's a guy behind him to the right. Oh, you can mark him through. He couldn't get the down. There's still a guy coming in on the right side. You can see him kind of on the map on this backside. He thirsts him. The guy's still behind, so you got to be aware of that. Gonna place off this. He jumps through. He ends up getting smoked. And then I think Breadman's going to get the buyback. He got smoked because of the timing as he went in. A little bit aggressive. The guy was ready for him. I think he underestimated him, and that's sometimes what happens. But Bread's going to get the buy. Looks like he's coming back. Bread does have 30. He's going to make a gas play where he's going to go into the gas, buy a gas mask, and buy back his teammate. So it's going to be relatively easy. Knowing that this is all solos, now it's 2v1 situations, 2v1v1v1.
I mean,
he's going to be able to go back in, get the loadout, and be good to go.
Okay.
So it was an aggressive play, but it was like relatively easy play to make just because you know that, hey, you know what? My team's good. We're good. I got 36.
It's him. It's a solo. Everyone's a solo right now.
Everyone's a solo. The guy's on the loadout. He manages to get a nice little Tommy gun. Picks this guy off as he comes through. Super easy kill. He's going to rotate in, get his loadout again so he can use the same guns. And then he's going to be good to go.
There's no shop. That's how
they don't know where he's at. This is where the ghost comes into play, where it's super powerful. This is probably the only time ghost is like super. Oh, you can see the guy. You can see the guy. His gun is sticking through the wall.
He's in this one?
He's right in there. You can see him. Nice team shooting. GG's for the dub. So that's Fifakill over on Twitch. Go ahead and check him out. Link in the description. He streams almost 10 hours a day over there daily. Let him know I sent you. Appreciate supporting the content. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.